Well, thank you all. Thank you all a lot. It is great to be back here at the Kennedy Center after 3 times on this show, which I have been. They make you an honorary Kennedy. I've always felt a kind of comedy kinship with George Carlin, and I flatter myself to think that we somehow drank from the same comedy fountain, or should I say inhaled, or perhaps I shouldn't. Before I even got started as a comedian, George already had a big career. He was doing his best to fit in with his skinny tie Vegas shtick. When I got my first job on the Gary Moore show, doing a barefoot tap dance, and amazingly, this was after Carol, much to my shock, they liked me and they cast me on the show as the girl. Well, I did not like it one bit, and I mean, how many times could I say, more coffee, sir? And after that, 3 weeks, they gave me the axe, and thank heaven, along came some new comedy shows called The Smothers Brothers and Laugh In, and it was just a great time to be in comedy. The world was absolutely changing, and so was George Carlin. He said goodbye to all those glitzy gigs, and he said hello to a new world that where weird and good meant the same thing. And he played college campuses and coffee houses, and then he was there at the birth of this new thing called cable, and the rest is sort of history. I have always loved the short form of observation that George called his brain droppings. Let me just share a few with you. I'm not concerned about all hell breaking loose. My fear is that part of hell will break loose, and that'll be much harder to detect. You know, when you think about it, 12:15 p.m. is really 11:75 a.m. And you know what's fun is to go to a German restaurant and insist on using chopsticks. Dear George, sir, you were a deep thinker and a very, very funny man. And you know the expression, it's not what you say, it's how you say it? Well, it doesn't matter how good your material is if you can't sell it. And George's beautiful voice always closed the deal. Watch.
This is called advertising lullaby. Keeping in mind, of course, that the whole purpose of advertising is to lull you to sleep. Quality, value, style, service, selection, convenience, economy, savings, performance, experience, hospitality, low rates, friendly service, name brands, easy terms, affordable prices, money-back guarantee, free installation. Free admission, free appraisal, free alterations, free delivery, free estimates, free home trial, and free parking. No cash, no problem, no kidding. No fuss, no muss, no risk, no obligation, no red tape, no down payment, no entry fee, no hidden charges, no purchase necessary, no one will call on you, no payments or interest till September. What? Limited time only, though, so act now, order today, send no money, offer good while supplies last, 2 to a customer, each item sold separately, batteries not included, mileage may vary, all sales are final, allow 6 weeks for delivery, some items not available, some assembly required, some restrictions may apply. So come on in. Come on in. Come on in for a free demonstration and a free consultation with our friendly professional staff. Our experienced and knowledgeable sales representatives will help you make a selection that's just right for you and just right for your budget. And say, don't forget to pick up your free gift, a classic, deluxe, custom, designer, luxury, prestige, high-quality, premium, select, gourmet pocket pencil sharpener. Yours for the asking, no purchase necessary. It's our way of saying thank you. And if you act now, we'll include an extra added free complimentary bonus gift, a classic, deluxe, custom, designer, luxury, prestige, high-quality, premium, select, gourmet, combination key ring, magnifying glass, and garden hose in a genuine imitation leather-style carrying case with authentic vinyl trim. Yours for the asking, no purchase necessary. It's our way of saying thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gary Shandling.
Oh yeah, I've been searching everywhere. Thank you. Thank you. A real pleasure for me to be here tonight. I would like to address very personally how George affected my life. When I was 18 years old, I grew up in Tucson, Arizona. And there's no comedy in Tucson. There's no comedy clubs. There are no Jews. I was the only Jew. Bill Ayers was at my bar mitzvah. I don't know what he was doing there. I don't know how he got in. I had nothing to do with him. I haven't seen him since. I'm an electrical engineering major at the University of Arizona, or as we called it, the Harvard of Tucson. And I decided I want to take a shot at comedy writing because I don't like engineering, and and I was kind of funny in school. So I thought, well, maybe I can put these two together somehow. And so I would sit in class, and I wrote 3 George Carlin routines. This would have been when I was 18 and a half, 19, somewhere in there. Didn't know how to meet George. Saw in the newspaper that he was appearing at a jazz club in Phoenix, which is a 2-hour drive. I got to the show an hour early, not knowing any better, and luckily I did the right thing, and I walked into the club, and I said, I'm looking for Mr. Carlin. Is he around? And they said, well, he's sitting over there by the bar. And I walked up to him with a wad of material, and I said, Mr. Carlin, my name's Gary Shandling, and I go to the University of Arizona, and I wrote this material, and I was wondering if you'd look at it. And he said, well, I write my own stuff. And I said, I assumed soon. And he said, but if you'd like me to read it and tell you what I think, I will. He said, come back tomorrow night. I'll have read it. And I thought, well, sure, he did. And now I got to drive 2 hours back to Tucson. So I took the chance. I drove back 2 hours, drove back 2 hours the next night. And he sees me. He says, come on backstage. And I go into the dressing room backstage of this kind of dingy club, and there is my material on the table. George sits down, and he gives me notes. He gives me notes for 20 minutes. I'm a kid from Tucson, Arizona, and George Carlin sits down and gives me notes. Do you understand that that changes your life? And you cut to about 12 years later, and George is receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award. And I was asked to present that award because the family knew about the story, and it's a really true story. And so I got on stage like I have tonight, and I've told the whole story. I made it longer. And I did the whole story, and George walked up, and I gave George the award, and this was my first moment with him, you know, that way. And he looked at it, and he turned to the audience, and he said, first of all, I'm sorry for encouraging Gary to pursue his career. He's been nothing but a pain in the ass ever since. And that speaks to the heart of the man, and unfortunately the part that gave out. So we miss him dearly, and I miss him, as you can imagine, because of that. About 5 years later, Saturday Night Live started. So we want you to look at a tape of George, because George, a lot of people don't remember, was the first host of Saturday Night Live when Lorne Michaels was looking for a host. Let's take a look.